you're live, Eric, whenever you want to.
All right, so we're gonna call the meeting to order. This is the Municipal Complex Committee. It is September 9th at 1:30. The agenda for today, we're gonna go over the meeting minutes from the August meeting. We're gonna get an update on the conceptual design project. We're gonna also discuss the potential for a fall public information session, and then we'll open it up. So the minutes were distributed last week to the entire committee. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstain? No? Okay. There's 9 of us today? 10? Oh, who am I forgetting? All right, conceptual design project update. We're gonna turn it over to you all out there.
All of you.
Before he gets into that, I just have one question.
Yep.
I'd like to get confirmed
That's
exactly
wrong.
the direction
That's wrong.
the
Hold on.
committee's doing. 'Cause after our last meeting, the selectmen were updated to the meeting, and they were
I sent it
told
to
that the
myself,
committee is
'cause I
not
don't think I
picking
can.
any one project. They're gonna bring 3 of them. Now, any committee that I've been on, and I've been on a dozen, the committee has always compiled all the information, got all the costs, and they have picked whatever they thought was the best for that town in that department. But that's not what this committee's doing, or is it?
That's what we discussed right from the get-go, is that we would recommend one of the proposals.
But we were investigating all 3 to figure out which
Well,
one,
The
so.
selectmen were told we were not going to pick one.
Well, we're not gonna pick one, but we're going to suggest that, and give the reasons why we're suggesting it. But in the end, we're leaving it up to the voters, the town, on which direction to go. But we're gonna present, and we're going to bring forward what we as a committee recommend.
Yeah, so it's a recommendation, not a selection.
Right, we recommend it for these reasons,
Right.
Correct.
and not the others.
Yeah.
And then you bring that to the town votes on it, yes or no?
Yes, but that information for all 3 options would be available, so if anyone were to,
I think the last thing you want to do is to open it up and let the town decide which one they want to go with.
They're the ones paying for it.
Well, you've been to a town meeting and we spend hours on one article on a yes or no vote.
Well, that respectfully, Kevin, that's why we are going to strongly recommend a certain approach, and we're gonna have our facts in place and make sure that we're presenting everything thoroughly to the town so that they can make the decision. But, you know, I'm of the belief that the taxpayers are paying for it, and they should have a say in the ultimate end result. But if we're hoping, and I'm not gonna speak for the committee, but I know myself, you know, after looking at things rather quickly, you know, it should be clear cut at the end of the day, which way we're gonna recommend. So it shouldn't be a huge discussion, especially with the strong recommendation from the committee. But I strongly believe, and it's sort of been my way from the get-go, that, you know, the taxpayers are paying for this, and they should have the ultimate say. It shouldn't be up to us, a committee of 10, to make people, you know, pay for a certain thing. So, although I understand what you're saying, I think that with our recommendation, it will go quickly, you know, and the proof will be in front of everybody that, yeah, this is the direction we want to go in.
Let me follow with that. If you give them 3 choices, but we've already picked the main one, I don't quite know how you can do that logistically, setting it up on the sheet. But what'll happen is, otherwise, they get a choice of the 3, then they don't have to vote it down completely. If they don't like the number, if we only give them 1, they don't like the number, they vote it down. You go to another election, and you go to another. Remember the fire station, how many times did we do it? 4 times maybe? 3, 4 years? Yep, so this way, you have the main one, and then, like I said, logistically, I'd like to figure out how we're gonna set it up. But they can read the other two choices, and you have that one literally first. And you say, this is this, and then then you brief summary the other two under it. And if they wanna vote for the others, so be it. The majority's still gonna win, but it's gonna save umpteen trips back and forth to the electorate, in my opinion.
I mean, I think the big thing is we'll have, whether it's the info session we're gonna talk about later or the other iterations before we get to the warrant article drafting, that we would have all that information so that we can have a, comprehensive discussion of all the options and make a recommendation. So then, as part of that, we could decide option B is the one we want to present as the warrant article, but the backup information shows what the other options are, should it get to the floor and need to be. Option A is where we're headed. It can be amended to kind of, that information's present and available, as opposed to having to go through the whole town meeting cycle again.
You're not gonna have three separate questions if we ask, a choice, choose one.
No, I don't think, we can talk about it more as we go,
That's
but
what
I
I'm
think,
saying about logistics. I wonder how that.
I think ideally
I
it'd be
think
that's down the
the select
road.
board has to, right? Because I don't think this committee could make a recommendation to the select board.
And we can make a recommended warrant article based on that. So then it would have to get approved. There's a couple steps before, and then budget committee gets involved as well, so.
Can select board pick one out of the three?
Yes?
They could make a recommendation.
No, I mean, the answer is yes. The select board decides what warrant articles they put
The
forward.
article will be.
Yeah,
So if the select board decides that one of the three is just not a non-starter, then they don't have to present it.
Fair comment. We are a subcommittee.
Yes.
Yeah, we're feeding to them, that's correct.
yeah, and ultimately, the arbiter of what gets approved is at town meeting by the voter. So I think if we're making a firm recommendation but present the information from the options that were not recommended, at least we've brought all the information forward. Any other discussion before we kick it over to Turner?
That would do it, because then if they don't like it, they're gonna vote no.
Yeah, I think it will be probably easier yes, no, than a,
They don't like that
Option
choice,
B,
if they
C.
like one of the others, they can just vote no.
all right. Now, main event. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind because I was ill for a week.
That's no excuse.
So we did a layout of the PD to,
We're gonna give you a microphone. Please hold. Just for the recording.
so we did a layout of the PD based on what we perceived would be the most cost-efficient option, which is to do a one-story scheme and a standalone building with the option of adding a town hall onto it. What we did is we took all the areas such as storage, locker rooms, anything booking and evidence, all those secure areas, put them in the core of the building, and then wrap that with the remainder of the spaces, which are spaces that would require daylight or could have daylight. The way this lays out on the site plan, and we can talk about it here, is about how you approach the building. It might.
Sorry. We're not.
See if it comes in. It's negative for some reason.
Just
Make it bigger?
Just scroll over.
I'm
Try.
trying to.
No, it went negative. Are you in Bluebeam? No, you're in Chrome. Okay. I have a board. If we could just
Nope,
talk.
we're gonna do this. Technology's wonderful.
Okay. So in a site plan, this is the PD. We put a drive-through Sally port in that could accommodate 4 vehicles. So they can always have 4 vehicles undercover when for the winter time, and then I suggest putting additional undercover away from the building instead of attached to it. So you could do up to 12 spaces here, but you're probably like 6 to 8 or something like that. The town hall, this is just a box representing the square footage that we came up with in the program right now. It is attached to the back of that. This is town hall parking here. This is PD. This can flip this way depending on how you want to approach the building. This is me. I suggest it should have its own entrance instead of people going through the park to access the PD, especially if they're in a hurry for some reason. And this also gives them an independent access for coming and going and not going through the park. It does attach off this upper corner, so it doesn't affect this parking here. This is kind of a minimal amount of parking where the previous studies kind of just flooded the whole thing. So there's, I believe there's 22 spaces here and 43 spaces there. And so the entrance into the PD is here, and then there's, we can go back to the other plan real quick. In theory, we can go back to the other plan. There it goes. So entrance is off the corner here, secure lobby, interview space, lobby restroom, so nobody has to come through into the PD. Keep everybody outside. Detective's office is here. There's no special reason. Usually they might be the ones encountering the people that are visiting. There's two separate restrooms, secure files, office supplies, reception. So this office. Evidence, Sally Port, booking interview room, and then independent booking restroom. And then evidence prep space, so evidence is taken into here, prepped, and then gone into storage in the evidence area. So there's also evidence, drug, and weapon storage there. Locker rooms with 2 independent restroom showers, cold storage for the Sally Port, access to Sally Port through the booking or through the hallway. Sergeant's office, which is a shared office, armory, uniform storage, patrol storage, and then patrol office, and then a training conference room here. And training storage and break room, so these spaces can interact and have food access and things like that. This is supply this room, and then this the hallway, fitness area, and mechanical, radio, and electrical spaces. The rear, there's a rear corridor here. This goes out to park. You might have vehicles parked here for the Sally Port. This goes out to the back to the rear. If you do have visiting officers coming in for training or something, they would probably come through the park in the rear, and then you let them in the back way, right into the training without taking them through the whole PD. Again, trying to access sunlight around the whole space, and then these are the dark, non-natural light spaces. The chief did ask about looking at a basement storage area. So what we've found is that when we have a flat site, this is the most effective construction method, because putting in a basement slows down construction. You have to add stairs and then go down, and you're deep. You're not just like house deep. You're 10 feet deep or so. That will work when you have, sometimes the cost is equal when you have a slope site, because you're able to access off the slope. And it's not as.
So this would be slab on grade.
This is slab on grade, right?
Do you have any other?
The other thing about putting in the basement, in my experience, is it's just slow going in the initial phases of construction. It takes a while to get the foundation up and get everything secure, so you can actually start to see the building go up. Where a perimeter footing and slab on grade, things happen a lot quicker. That also reflects in your construction costs, because that's less general conditions that you have to pay for a shorter period of time.
Especially if we get into blasting and all that.
Right, if you have a ledge condition or something like that, right. So that's kind of the way I've looked at it initially. Again, I want to test the town hall, and I need to look at this. Like I said, I'm a little behind. I need to test this building and see what we do with the town hall here. and then also add the town hall onto this.
Do you have any idea what the cost of a basement would be?
I don't. I only know from order of magnitude. I did talk to our construction manager estimator, and he said in this condition, it's probably going to be more than going on slab on grade. But we will price that. I just need to provide him with some kind of layout, because we'll take some of these spaces, you know, I'll talk to the chief, see what he feels is adequate to go below and what should stay up. And then this will get shrunken, and then we'll test it. So it also could be that you want some kind of basement for future town storage or something like that. You know, whether that happens in this building or in the town hall building, that's another discussion.
What's the overall layout, the footprint of the building as is?
This is a little less than program. I think this is 7,800. No, sorry, the town hall is 7,800 square feet. And sorry, this is
But what are the dimensions?
it's
100
110 by 64 plus the Sally port.
Okay.
So I think I'm between 7,000 and 8,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Sally port is 30 by 46.
But if you were to put a basement, you could probably shrink that down some.
Yes. But it's all construction square footage.
I was under the impression that with we're going to get another thing for a combined, another layout
Yes.
for a combined,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Are there going to be major changes within that new diagram? Or is it just going to be just a separate
There
town
are
hall?
two ways to do it. We can do it separately,
Mhm.
or you can do one large box. When we get into one large box, we might be changing construction type, where the construction materials get a little more expensive.
Okay.
So again, I'm trying to
Can
start this.
Can you elaborate on that?
So when the overall square footage of the building gets a little bit bigger,
Mhm.
like when we get over 9,000 square feet plus, you have, so if we're saying this is a type 5B construction, which could be a wood structure,
Mhm.
and we get over 9,000 square feet, you have to rely on sprinkler coverage and the perimeter fire truck coverage in order to enlarge the square footage of the building.
Is that the total square footage or the footprint of the building?
That's per floor. So
Okay, so to what you were saying earlier, I think if we wanted to have a basement, we could perhaps shrink the floor footprint
correct.
and split, okay.
But again, you know, you have to provide two means of egress and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Those are things you don't have to provide in a one-story.
Yep, yep,
What did you say the square footage of this one was?
almost 8,000.
I don't know exactly.
It's whatever times whatever.
110.
But it doesn't reach to 9,000.
No.
No.
Is this future, is this the needs based on what we could get at in a 20-year build out, or is this current needs and that's it? Why you're throwing things?
I'm sorry, I didn't follow your question.
Is this building built for exactly what we need right now?
Does it allow for future growth?
Or,
It had, all the programming has future growth in it.
okay, that was
Yes.
my question.
So I don't think we got in our packet the one with the parking spaces. Can you go back to that for a sec? I didn't see it in my packet, the parking space one. I had this one, and I had this one, but I didn't have that one.
I don't think that one, you know.
It didn't get emailed around? Okay. So I had a couple questions. Did we know, I mean, do we know we can definitely put another driveway on 125?
No.
We don't know
No,
that
we don't
yet.
know that.
You have to apply to
Okay,
the state of
and
New
I
Hampshire.
was just curious why you wouldn't have the Sally port on the other side, on the, on the right, if you look at the picture.
I mean, this is basically two separate buildings, two completely separate
It's
buildings.
just adjoining.
They're just touching.
Right, but
Gives you,
If the-
gives you more protection.
for the, but you come in, the, most of the parking spaces are nowhere near the lobby, for example. Like you come in,
I mean, we would get to decide that, right?
These are-
He
these-
said that we could
These
flip
are the,
it.
these are the visitor parking spaces here.
okay,
This is the entrance for the
Yeah.
visitors. This whole thing can flip either way. I suggest you don't, visitors don't, or anybody trying to go to the PD doesn't go through the park.
Liz, the
we
Sally
can- if we
Port is
can.
not for customers. It's
no, I
for-
know, it's for the police things, I know what it is.
Right, and it can flip this way as well.
So,
I was
Okay.
trying to construct a PD by itself without making one large rectangle if we adjoin a town hall to it.
Or,
Because it becomes a lot more difficult to provide spaces with natural light then. Right,
well, and I think this is more with an eye towards a future potential
right.
secondary use on the site as opposed to committing to orientation.
Right. The other thing I'm doing here, which you probably haven't picked up on, is there's a knob here at 180 feet, and the finished floor here is at 174, 176 or something. So I'm trying to stay away from that knob, so that's why I kind of stepped the building down that way.
for those laymen, can you tell us what a knob is?
It's just there's a rise in the topography there,
A hill.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it could be ledge. I don't know. So.
Okay,
So potentially, if you cannot go on to 125, you have to run that driveway parallel down to your driveway.
We probably stay with this kind of scheme, and it might be just a loop around without that.
So there is space between the setback and the existing building to put a driveway.
Through here.
I think it's further down, but yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think Kip,
Again, this is the first time this is the first time you're seeing anything, so any comments are fine, you know.
But
It's all a work in progress.
Is there 500 feet of frontage on 125?
I don't know what the distance is there.
What'd you say, Mark?
500 feet of frontage.
why?
Because the state of New Hampshire has an RSA that you're not allowed two accesses.
If you're less than 500?
Correct.
So,
I mean, I'm
I
sure
think-
we could appeal to the state of New
I think-
Hampshire. This is a municipality. But I'm just working through
Yeah.
the legislation.
I think one of the things that have been discussed is that if it wasn't a main access point, but a way for them to get out quickly if they need to, that it might not need to meet those requirements because it's not a public access.
Yeah, I'm sure the state of New Hampshire is going to.
is there a way we can find out
Be lenient.
before we, there's no way we can find out before we actually make this
You have to
building?
apply to New Hampshire DOT, which is,
There'll be a backup plan, sure.
it's
Yeah.
a, it's a slow wheel.
We have an infrastructure division within the company. I mean, we can also talk to them. They might have a contact.
Plus, they have a good understanding of whether it'll be passed or not.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
Like,
Because then you'd switch probably the whole thing around if we have to come in the other way, right?
Right.
Even if you did go onto the highway, it doesn't drop down quite a bit. Is there a cliff right there?
This is 172, and you're coming up to 176 across here. So it's not too bad. I mean, ultimately, if you had to, you could do this. Again, I was trying to show you one of the lowest cost options.
I think we're getting bogged down with details at this point.
Well, it's all good information. I'll record it all and go back and look at the next scheme. So,
And Chief, you're satisfied with kind of the space program and everything? I think the one thing, I guess I know we talked about it, but there is no need for any sort of detention.
No, because there's a jail in town. I would just want to make sure that Braycom has the ability to
yeah, so that's a challenge. So we need to talk to the state fire marshal about that because they frown on putting ranges in because you have to put in an ANSEL system and everything for fire suppression. But
What if you did induction?
yeah, you could do that too. You're still going to have an ANSEL
really?
system because you could have a grease fire.
Especially the way they cook.
So So that's why you see ovens and microwaves used as opposed to a cooktop in public buildings, because they're a little safer.
I thought that with a combination of facilities, that we'd have conjoined uses. I mean,
Yes,
that's,
not this one, though.
yes. I'm just putting it out there to see if that's what's coming down the plan, whether you're just gonna make a separate town office.
Right now, they're two separate programs.
Right.
And I guess you need to tell me what you foresee as the conjoined uses between.
Well, as Officer Doty said, Chief Doty, my mistake, sorry, sir. One of the major expenses to building anything would be your kitchens, restrooms, heating,
Rooms.
I'm sorry, meeting rooms.
But I foresee their needs for that as totally separate as the town hall's needs. Their kind of meeting room is totally different from your kind of meeting room.
I don't know that that's accurate, is it?
I mean, if we had, I know one of the plans that we kind of came up with as a group, just had one.
Because their meeting room is a combination training room as well.
I
So,
don't believe you can mix the two. Because theirs is privacy and whatever.
Well, I guess what is a training room?
I don't see how the town could use that too.
I was just thinking about when we went to,
Northampton.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was
Would-
one big room, and they used it for public meetings and for trainings, because it's basically just a big conference room.
okay.
If that's,
We had something similar in Lee, because it would always have the select board meetings at the public safety complex. So we had a big training room upstairs.
Yeah, I'm simply just,
Above the select board room.
Not part of the.
Or the
police
same,
department.
or it was,
It was a select board room
Okay.
/ training room.
okay. So we can look at that when we do one large building as opposed to two separates. So,
just looking for cost-saving measures, things that we can incorporate into conjoined spaces that would potentially save taxpayers money.
because if you don't have to duplicate a
Right.
kitchen.
You don't have to duplicate a big giant kitchen. Not to say that we get a big giant kitchen, but you don't have to duplicate those facilities. Just food for thought.
it's true, but I mean, is there true crossover of staff that wants to happen in, let's say, a break room?
It's not so much about crossover of staff, it's about, in my mind, it's about reduction of needed facilities.
No, I
You
get
know,
that.
we
but-
don't need
But do you
4
want,
tiny,
the PD coming in with the office staff into the same break room?
they already do.
I don't. I want them in separate
Okay.
buildings.
Together
We already.
No, but I mean, they all,
Okay.
because there's no place for them to eat
So
downstairs.
we're all friends here.
Yeah, they all ate together already. I mean, they
I'm
already-
asking a question.
No, I know, and that's where, you don't know these things, right? Like,
Fair comment.
but especially like, I know in one of the other plans that we looked at, like, yes, they need small conference rooms, big conference rooms, so does the town. Realistically, none of those are getting used often enough where they need to be single use.
Okay.
Is
So I guess maybe we should get through the two concepts that are independent, and then we can kind of say, where do we mark up for Doug and his
Yeah.
team, like, where do we see potential multi-function use?
Yeah,
so
where
that
can we,
it's For probably larger spaces and support services for the.
well, like a
facility rather than-
mail and copy room. You can share a
So,
printer.
And then Chief can also say where there's things that are like, no, that needs to be dedicated PD only from whether it's a security or privacy.
So we'll develop a list and then we can review it together and see what can and what can't.
Because I'm assuming we would still be able to secure whatever door you'd get into PD with, so that they could get to the meeting space, but people couldn't get from town hall to the
Right.
east side without, like, it would be a locked door.
Well, it's either a door or probably put a little quarter between,
They put like its own,
just to separate it a little bit.
Access, yeah.
yeah, like,
they need to
I'm trying to think of this term.
Access control, yeah.
I mean, I look at this room in general and
Vestibule.
how it's used as a day-to-day basis, right? And if it was larger and could hold more capacity, I think that would be wonderful for the residents of Brentwood, and not only that, the board members as well. This configuration could be much better. But how can we further use that space for PD meetings? Spaces like this cost money, and like cost a significant amount of money, and the more uses that we can get out of them and design that into the final design, I think it'd be better off as A, for monetary reasons, and B, for our staff and personnel as well.
Doug, I think it'd be good for the committee to hear, you mentioned the 9,000 square foot, the potential for special fire provisions. Is there anything else that becomes a threshold where special accommodations or costs start to come into play? If we exceed a certain threshold or add a particular use?
It can only trigger things like sprinkler systems and things like that. You can if for that option that I just showed, we can always put in in order to avoid things like that, we can put in a firewall between town hall and the PD, and we don't run into that issue. But let me go back through and see if there's anything else that can trigger that. But you'd be between probably a 3B construction type, which is non-combustible, like below the ceiling, and then above can be a wood roof or something like that. Like that enables you to use trusses and things like that, or a 2B construction type. 5B is kind of what you have here with this building. It can be anything, any combustible construction.
Can you also send the one around that has the parking spaces in it?
Yep.
So right now, the plan is to kind of now work on the other side of the mirror with the town hall.
Right. Right. That plus we can tweak the one we have. If you guys have additional comments on it, just feed us the comments and we'll go back and revise it. And then we can work on the combination one. We can work on a separated one, and then we'll take a look at this building to increase it for future town hall use. But we got to do this all fairly quickly because we want to try to be done by, towards the end of October with everything. So I'll probably start feeding you things to review prior to the next meeting, because if we just go every month, it's going to take too long. So.
Yep.
Are you going to try and have the hall for its next meeting?
Pardon me?
Is that your goal, to have the town hall ready for the next meeting?
Yeah. Well, I'll have a few options ready for the next meeting.
We can, we don't have to, we can meet more frequently if that would be better for you.
I think let me see how far I can get in 2 weeks, and I'll feed the chief options as we go along, and we can always do a video meeting or something. So sometimes those are a little easier to deal with because I can draw on the screen as we're talking.
You'd be right there.
Yeah, I can draw and move things around, and sometimes people find it a little more helpful just to do a virtual meeting.
None of the configurations, Letty, are going to have a room that's big enough for voting, right? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, just the school's not
We,
either.
let
No, I
me
know.
rephrase that, that is not part of the plan.
Okay, just double checking.
But it would be nice to have a facility that is bigger than this to
Yeah, this is,
accommodate
meetings, that has the record, like the rec doesn't work for that because of the lack of audio visual.
And it's not big, yeah. For like this meeting room, I think, what was that one in Northampton? Did they say that would hold if you open both sides? Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I think you want to comfortably put in 100 people.
I don't think the one in Northampton was that big.
It was pretty big, though.
Well, it's a split room.
It was two halves, and I
Yeah.
think that's an interesting thing to consider as we possibly dial in more on what we want in the
An
building.
They have a small divider between those
Yeah.
corrugated dividers.
Yep.
Mhm.
So you could have one big room or two smaller rooms.
in theory, have two functions going on at the same time.
Each side.
That might be with the tables though. 'Cause
Yeah,
It
I-
was set up with table, but like, we don't,
right. Those tables and desks that they did have in there, they were really nice, but they did eat up a lot of real estate.
All right, just kind of summarize some of the comments I heard. Route 125 access, alternate access on campus, if 125 is not available. Potential for full kitchen capacity, even if that's just for PD or
Yeah, full service kitchen.
full service kitchen. When we get to the shared combined facility, we'd look at markups for the multi-use, both town hall and PD. Doug's gonna look into just other potential thresholds and that we might trip as we go to an expanded facility. That could add, like you said, with, different methods of construction in order to meet those requirements with that costs. And then the potential for some reallocation of PD space to a basement, if the basement were to be partially. But the square footage stays the same, it's just dropping. We're not changing the total square footage. So it's just
Let me ask this question. If, let's say, of the floor plan, you saw 20% of that can go down in the basement, are you looking for a full basement or a partial basement?
I think it would depend on what we would, like, are there other things we could put down there? Like, could we put HVAC, IT, like other stuff? Like what, like I would try to put as much as we could down there. Like, do you really need a window for evidence? Probably not. You can be in a
because it all
basement.
depends on waterproofing and other things like that too.
Sure.
How much rock you have to blow away.
And how much,
I thought you were,
Be comfortable, so we want the mice down there.
Right, yeah, we want to feel like we're at home.
I thought you were trying to escape the
A little
basement.
water running through a little brook,
You want a new basement, but you want to escape the basement.
just a markup of what the chief and his staff see as things that could be below grade
Mm.
space, so we can figure out, I'm imagining it's gonna end up more as a person. We're gonna need 4,000 square feet.
Although if we deem it dry, it could be a good storage, it could be good storage, so.
Right.
I mean,
See,
just guess it depends on if there's really that much savings going from a half basement to a full basement.
Right, if you're already doing a
If
basement.
you're already doing it,
We
you might as well.
ran into this in Conway
Yeah.
where somebody on said, we should
Careful.
we should be putting a basement in here. And it didn't pass bond vote, but then what it did is it kind of snowballed a little bit because they said, oh, okay, well, we need to add the egresses. So we added stairs and they're like, oh, well, we could be putting heavy things down there, so we need to put in a lift.
Yeah.
What
And
I
then-
was just gonna say.
And then the next year, they pulled it all out and just went to a single floor. They got closer, but they still didn't pass.
I don't know much about,
Well, that's where I was getting. I'm very familiar. And we built a bus station down in Amesbury for the MVRTA. And they were gonna put a basement in. And when they started digging, we kind of found all kinds of interesting things like turtles, which were a problem because they were, locked it all up. And when they got all done, like I say, the lift, $165,000. This
Yep.
was 10 or 15 years ago. I mean, all of a sudden, that basement became a major upscaled, up cost.
A major cost
And
to the
that's why when you
budget.
said initially, I thought that made sense.
A money pit.
Previous history.
you were talking about avoiding the knoll, the bump.
Yeah.
I'm seeing from the bump to where the other building is, and this kind of goes with my recollection, there's a bit of a hill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Could we have part of it sticking out of the hill in terms of egress? Would that help if we want to put something in the basement?
Anytime you interrupt, generally speaking, the rule is you interrupt the ground, you got trouble. When you dig into the ground, all of a sudden, am I talking right?
Yeah, depending, we're gonna have to go down 4
We
feet for
have to-
everything, but
I mean,
yeah.
we have to
Once you
put
open the
footings
ground up,
anyway.
You've got all kinds of problems. It's a better you don't do it, because you have no idea what you find. Like, I laughed about the turtles, but that was only because they had nests there and we couldn't build the ground. Then we had indigent plants or whatever they call them, kind of.
Mhm.
Whenever you disturb that ground and you go below ground, you've got trouble. I say I built 3 big ones, and every time it was when we opened the ground, we had the problem.
I don't think the grade difference there is substantial enough.
Okay, that's what I don't know. That's
To
why I'm
do
asking.
inside of the hill building, you need probably 8 to 11 feet to work with, and there you only have like 6 to 7.
Okay.
Yeah, and the prominence of the hill's not very big. It's not like
Yeah, if it became 2 stories, it's this, and then you're trying to work it into there. It's not small enough. Or
Even-
sorry, the hill's not big enough.
Even when we built the foundation, I was there for that too. Part of that. It was a problem.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
It's slow going. It takes a month. It probably adds an extra month to the construction time. So
It's not, and I don't think it's cheap.
What adds an
In the
extra
end,
month?
I don't think it's cheap.
to put in a basement.
Putting in a basement.
So, yes, putting in a basement versus not putting in a basement is obviously going to be more expensive, but if we can save overall footprint costs by doing that, it might be more expensive, but less than the,
Not really. Not looking at the floor plan
It's
it's
still
got here.
you're
but
still
we don't know yet because we don't know what the other choices are. That's all I'm
but
saying.
you're still building occupiable square footage. So that's the save.
How do we add on to this building? If we needed more PD space in 20 years, can we add on to this?
Not this one. You could probably come off the tail end down here.
Okay.
Is that a legitimate concern?
I mean, I would prefer not to have to
I'd
bond
back
out
off
a
my
$50
statement.
million
I would
building in
I
20
would just
years.
extend this down and bring the loop back around down here.
So
No,
I guess we should.
You
take
could
this
you could
site
probably
plan-
add another 50% down there and still make it
Would
work.
that would interfere with the ball fields or anything if you didn't use that?
No, we're-
No, we're outside the ball fields. They're down here.
I guess with site plans,
This
we should
this square
allow
right here,
for if
that's
the
the
town hall
gazebo.
or other
That's
facility
the
never got
picnic.
built.
Right.
No, this is the other building on the left.
Even if we never realized it.
And I envision this as a very simple gable structure with another gable coming in here and another gable coming in here. And then this gable could always extend down. Similar to the way
Pretty
this
simple.
works. And then we'd probably relocate this structure or something.
Mm-mm. We can't relocate that structure.
So that's at the,
I'm
blacksmith?
just saying, no, that's the pavilion. Sorry. We could. I think that would not go well with the public.
Well, that's down the road years anyway.
Just saying.
So
Letty,
we-
we couldn't,
we can always go around it if we need to. I guess what is this?
It's the pavilion.
I know that, why is it in its present
And
location?
it's wooden, this could be replaced.
because it was next to woods.
Nothing.
I think that's getting too far down the road.
It was in the middle of no
I think we
place.
gotta see this.
I didn't know if there's a,
So I would
is
just say it's
there's
not
a
as,
special adjacency to something else.
it's not special adjacency. It's named. It used to not be in the middle of everything because there used to be more nothing there.
Yeah.
Because this was not clear.
Yes.
Right.
And also, I think it's not as easy as just moving it somewhere else because based on other conversations that have been had with the public about this property and things that might happen to it, any changes like that, when they look easy or think they might be easy or not.
I can't imagine looking at this, seeing a scenario where we would even need to go down that road. I don't.
And a lot of what they're referring to is the place with the.
Archery.
That's the real traditional one. This really doesn't have any, as far as I know.
Except for the archery, right?
It was just there and just wouldn't, somebody built it one day. And it gets very little
police
use, to
building
be
would
honest
be
with
with-
you.
I think pushing this whole thing 10 feet that way, it's not that big of a deal. to
No, I
me,
think
the-
I
the
think we can.
pavilion.
I think we can go around it.
Yeah, I was just
just
responding
a
to
ma-
your, we can just move that. And I was like, hold on, this is Brentwood. You can't just move anything.
again, I was trying to show you an efficient layout.
And I cannot imagine a scenario where we build this building and in 20 years, we're gonna need more room for the police department. I really don't.
No,
see that. We haven't grown in that
So
much. And
my only,
because certain people are cheap. That's
my only concern
we
is
never
that
grow as much as we did.
given that there's a giant shortage of housing in New Hampshire, it is possible that the zoning laws that we currently have may shift.
I don't see it affecting the population of Brentwood to the extent that we'd have to double our police department. And
I never said double, but I think there are some.
But that's what would.
There are some functions that we don't have right now because of the size of the town.
That would be the marker that would have to be reached in order to redesign or add on to this building.
Do you know that, or are you just guessing?
Hmm? Yeah, that's I would say an educated guess.
Okay. I just wasn't sure, like, at what point does a department need a full-time detective? At what point does the department need full-time this,
Well,
full-time that?
I would say what we can do is just make sure the site plan allows for space for some form of expansion, and it's
Right.
dedicated and marked out on the concept to be like.
We can
whatever.
have a dedicated area.
So that,
And
Mm.
indicate a square footage.
yeah, so
Mhm.
just,
I think that's all of
it's
that
just
I would-
there
I
so
would
that
consider.
the design shows that there's forward thinking
Because
for uncertainty, but.
There's a detective in this, that pink one. The detective.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
detective.
I was just using
Yeah,
that as
no, I
an
know.
because it's not, but like, the fire department is very much still in the forefront, where we pretty much outgrew it the minute that we moved in.
That's a matter of.
That's certainly a
I
matter
think
of opinion.
we can allow for future space planning so that someone's not sitting here in 20 years wondering why we built up against something that doesn't allow for expansion.
Yes, yep, that's, I think, all.
The more important question that I would
If you're
ask
looking-
Chief
If
Doty.
you're looking for expansion, that's really, I think, another plus for having a basement. If you put a basement in, your footprint can only, you pick up the basement area and the second and the first floor, you're only eating up, half the footprint for the same square footage. Just put more down in the basement. If you put more down in the basement, you'll end up with more space, but not eat up real estate.
All good discussions.
What do you think of the plan, sir?
I think this is a great starting point. I like the practicality of this particular layout. I would love to be able to see something with, just more accommodations, kitchens, stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
Just,
It's detail.
Yeah.
I'm digging it out of you.
yeah, so it'll just be a matter of us firing some ideas back and forth just to see what.
I think,
Have-
I think, so, again, I would like to, next plans will show doors, casework, all that, because it'll give you a sense of a matter of scale of the building and show you how everything flows and everything. I kind of did this just because that's the way that the previous studies did it, but it's not typically the way I do it, so I thought it was what you were used to seeing. So I'll enhance it for you next time.
Have you done a mental note of, this is the staff that I have now? This is where I can put this person, and this person can be here. Have you?
Yeah.
You've sort of gone through that
Yeah.
a little bit. Now, do you, in your estimation, your expertise, do you feel that you could put more officers in this building safely?
Yeah.
The building
do.
we're in right now?
I mean, compared to, the building compared to what we're in right now,
Yeah.
this is far more usable. This is far more.
Mm-hmm. So you can look at this design and go, oh, I can put so. But then I have room for 5 other officers, 4 other officers. I want to make sure that
I get what you're saying.
I want to,
Yeah.
I don't mean to be but I want to make sure that you're comfortable with this design because
Maybe-
this is your department. You're the head of this department, and I want to make sure that it's going to meet your needs now and 20 years from now, or potentially 25, or whatever the building is designed as a build-up. So your input's going to be imperative to the decision-making here.
So maybe that's a question for you, Doug. When you were drawing out these spaces, so like patrol office is one I think of where there's usually multiple bodies gonna be in that one space. how many people would you think would fit in a 440 square foot office? How many did you plan?
Six to eight.
Okay,
Yeah, that's,
so that'll be fine. 6 to 8.
And the sergeant's office would be one, but with a potential for two.
well,
It's two-
it'll be a shared office. You have two
It's-
workstations.
It's shared office, and it's about 3 times the size it is now,
Yeah.
so.
What-
Very generous space.
And
I mean-
what occurs in the vestibule that's next to the lobby, that's next to the reception? Yellow, it's
The man trap.
vestibule.
That's where you get buzzed in. So if you try to
The
escape,
lobby is not where you get buzzed in?
no.
No, the vestibule is the area between the outside door and the inside hallway door.
It's also an airlock just for
Oh.
No, you're fine.
energy efficiency as well, but you can, what we've done in the past is they can come through this door is locked until they get buzzed in, and then this is a buzz-through door. And then there'll be a door here from this interview room, so they can access that room, and then the guests can come into this interview room from there.
So the reception can see the vestibule person,
Correct.
and then the lobby is where people wait?
Sit
for-
and wait for somebody to come visit them if they
But-
need to be interviewed.
But that's already open to the reception.
Yeah. Well,
just
no,
wondered if that
there's a-
could have
there's a
been one
secure-
space.
Again, I'll draw all this in there for the
Okay.
next one, but there's a secure window between reception and lobby.
So there's currently
there is now.
there's currently a vestibule kind of in between the lobby and
We don't have a vestibule.
No, but, like,
we have a
past
vestibule
the-
here.
Because what you could have happen is you have a mother here that's having an issue with her husband or something like that. She's in the lobby waiting to be interviewed, and then the husband comes in. You want to be able to lock him away from being able to get into the lobby to her.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Two layers
good
of
thinking,
security.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The lactation room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But just is because I'm
Yep.
new to this, is the lactation room, is that a thing that you have to provide now?
It's advisable and it's in the program.
But can it be in part of the restroom?
no.
No, you try to,
Separate.
you try not to
I'm
do
just
that.
asking.
You do,
Okay.
No privacy that way.
Okay,
Locker room.
usually a lactation room consists of a quiet space that has a
No, no,
chair,
no.
has a countertop and a sink and possibly a small refrigerator.
And an outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they go.
And
there and they're-
Yeah,
This-
no.
Is that,
They can
desi-
take care of their
yeah,
baby.
no,
is that designed for the public?
The document they had to do it.
No, it's for the staff.
Fortunately, it was beyond that. Go on.
it's for the staff if you have a
I think
female
we're,
officer.
no, I
Right.
think
No?
just by law, we're required to provide it,
I think so.
we never know if we're gonna have a
I don't know
female.
for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, for a female,
But I know
but it's for a female officer, it's not for this.
It's 50 square feet, I think we can.
For a very
probably-
long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I think we can handle it.
Just a question.
No, but you see it a lot more in plans now than.
I was,
We
But
do
you're also
it in
gonna get
PDs, we
questions
do
on
it in
it, so it's-
schools. Schools a little
the
more.
educational, I had no idea that these things were required. So
No, I think
Oh, yeah.
that's
Oh, yeah.
it's definitely
That was my
a,
day.
yeah.
And I
Thank
was too old for it, but I mean, I didn't have it.
10 years ago, you didn't.
And the other thing is, I even, in the construction sites when I worked, I had my own outhouse with a lady on it and a padlock. Every each construction job, and if I was the only engineering assistant on the line,
All right,
I had my bathroom.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
moving away from the
Uh,
lactation
so-
room.
That was,
You had your own
5 minutes
porta
left in the meeting. I do want to afford time for our guests here to see if anyone wants to ask any questions or have any comments. Yep. No, not currently in the program.
Well, thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Anyone have anything for open discussion on the committee? I think we've kind of had some good conversation here today.
Well, just to piggyback on that, so I know it's not in these plans anywhere, but we don't have a big enough space for town meetings, so I don't know why it's not,
It was never the directive of this
No.
committee to
Schools-
create
no, I know.
No.
I-
I mean,
No.
think about what you're saying and the structure that would be needed for that.
I'm just throwing it out there, that's all.
we
Mhm.
can always use rent to high school. Remember, we've tried to do that in the past. We have to.
How does it occur now?
Currently,
A
we
lot
are,
of people standing around.
currently, we're just jammed into a too small space.
Yeah, we're in the elementary gym.
school.
At the elementary school
Gymnasium.
We did have one other thing, we did kind of brief on it, is the potential for an info session. I think, seems like with Doug's team presenting some new concepts in October, maybe we're thinking it's late in October, early November is probably the timeline for an info session. I think it'd be premature
I
earlier
think the
in
question
month.
would be for you, when do you think you'll be able to have 3 kind of dialed in?
We'll crank this up and see where we end up at the beginning of October.
Okay,
Too many things that are.
unknowns.
So we'll kind of table that till the October meeting, and we do
Yeah.
need to set the October meeting before we,
When is our next meeting?
Yes. We're about to decide.
Alright, so we've been pretty consistent with the second Tuesday, which for us, that would be the 14th of October.
I'm open.
I have to double check, because I have a sneaky suspicion I just had an all-day thing scheduled for me. On either the 14th or the 15th.
But you could do the 7th, right? Not the 2nd.
Mm-mm, not anymore. I
Yeah,
can
I have
plug
an
it back
all-day
if
on the
somebody
14th.
wants to see.
I would do that. That gives us a little bit more time too to get things in order for the end
Oh
of
yeah,
October.
that'll give you 3 weeks.
Yeah, let's do the 7th.
October 7th?
I will be in Central Mass most of the 7th. You don't obviously have to wait for me. I might be able to join remotely on the 7th, but the 14th is not going to happen.
What about the 6th? Or the 8th?
The audacity.
I can join remotely on the 7th.
Yeah, let's just do that. $1:30?
Yeah. So next meeting will be Tuesday the 7th at 1:30, and we'll have provisions for anyone who wants to join me remotely. And then we'll tentatively look at end of October, early November for the info session, which we'll go over details when we meet on the 7th.
And just for clarification, we are updating the website now and putting minutes on and,
Yep.
okay.
Nope,
Well,
I did that.
no, I know. We did it.
There
We have
is
to
no
now-
one currently responsible for that moving forward.
So we have to work on who has access and everything.
Whoever would like access can get access. If there's somebody on the committee now that wants to take over that responsibility, or a member of the public,
I actually, I'll double check with her, but Heather in Daphne's office said she'd potentially be willing to help.
okay, let me know, because I can get her access.
Okay.
Maybe you give the minutes to her and then she posts them, or I don't know how.
Right now, I think the only thing that needs to go up would be the August minutes and then future minutes agendas going forward.
I think we owe it to the town to make sure that we're fully transparent and that we, even though this is broadcast and available, I think we owe it to the townspeople that this stuff be put on the website.
Do you want me to show you how to do it? It's not that hard.
I don't have to.
Same.
Do you want to vote on the minutes before they become public?
Yes.
Okay.
I would recommend that.
We can always post a draft.
I would just post them once they get approved.
That'd, yeah, be a board decision, and I would say we approve the minutes and then they get posted.
Otherwise, you have to pull them down and put them back up, and it just,
Yeah, but you do have to make them available to the public 5 business days prior to the meeting. Meaning if someone came in and wanted a draft version of them, you have to hand them to them.
Who's doing the minutes? Are you doing the minutes, or are you doing
I've-
the minutes?
it's either Justin or I, depending on who. But right now, it's me unless I'm, it's me unless, I know you weren't. It's me unless I'm not here.
Okay. On the 7th, Justin, it's you.
All right, so I need minutes by the 2nd. This is going to encourage me to get them done the same week we meet, so I don't stall. And then, Chief, you're gonna check with Daphne on the potential for?
Yeah.
So it'd be minutes, agendas, and
Next
does
meeting.
that include the video links?
I would.
Yeah, because I mean, I know they're up now, but,
It does currently, yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Make a motion to
Motion.
adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstains? 0, 10. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.